Hey y'all, Ms. B, and I'm here to recap episode 13, season 16 of Atlanta Housewives, chapter 1 Reset. So the episode opens up with Shamea collecting items to donate for people who, went through issues in Grenada because this is the trip they're going on. Based on the hurricane, which I never even knew that Grenada had a hurricane like that. And Kelly let us know it wasn't like the main island, but the surrounding islands. Sorry. So they're trying to, get donations together. Everybody's giving things in bulk. You have Shamea with a scene with her daughter Shia. Shia doesn't want to let her some of her things go, and she was like, no, like, you have more things. It was like a great lesson that she was teaching her daughter to give back. And Shamea's let us know, she's blessed, her kids are blessed, but she don't want them to grow up to be bratty. And I really love that, because you see eventually, like, Shia, if wants to help put in the boxes, the diapers and everything in a donation box. So all the ladies are giving back. Porsha was like, philanthropic work is her thing. Remember when Porsha first came on the show, she was all about charity. Hosea, her grandfather and his charity, whatever. So then eventually we have Britt pull up with a little box with two little rings of toilet paper, and I don't know what else there was that she brought. And I was like, girl, this show is not for Britt. This show is not for Britt. Please do not bring her back. I don't know what other language I need to speak about Britt, because I'm tired of seeing this girl. Like, it's embarrassing. It's cringe. Like, she doesn't get it. Like, this is not her lane. Like, she doesn't even know. Like, we're giving to people that are less fortunate, and we're about to travel into this country on this cash trip, and you don't even get, like, oh, somebody else is bringing it, bringing the rest of my stuff. And then Shamea's like, girl, like, somebody's coming to pick this up in an hour. It has to get to Grenada before we get there. Like, do you not get that? Then Bristol, my event didn't come off the way I wanted, and she blamed the event planner again. I want y'all to know that event planner got on Instagram and pulled up a ton of receipts. She was not in charge of the food. She was only in charge of decorations. Britt, that was your fault that you didn't have nobody to feed the people at your event. And it was just like classless way. You kept saying, it's so classy. I'm just exhausted with Britt. So anyway, next scene, Porsha and Drew. This is another cringe scene, because this was a very forced scene. They meet up for tea. Drew is already sitting there. Porsha doesn't recognize Drew because Drew has on this very dry wig. And then they asked Porsha, like, isn't that Go Naked hair? She was like, that is not Go Naked. She was like, maybe pieces of it. So as soon as Porsha sits down, Drew energy is off. It's very awkward between them, and I'm like, this is really forced, because now Drew is mad that Porsha has filmed with Ralph from the basement. Girl, don't nobody want Ralph but you. Don't nobody care about Ralph and his peanut head but you, Drew. So they start talking back and forth about a whole bunch of nothing, over talking each other. And then Porsha was like, well, I mean, aren't you dating Black? And then Drew was like, aren't you dating Future? Why did they bleep our Future's name? Because we already saw in the trailer at the beginning of the season, or whenever it was, long time ago, that Drew says Future. So why now did the Bravo decide to bleep our Future's name? Anyway, I don't understand how this editing be so bad sometimes. It'd be like, I just saw this, and then now y'all bleeping our Future's name. Well, anyway, and then also I was like really distracted. Lately Drew always be wanting to wear these little tube tops and tank tops and things, and her titty tape was like sticking out, and I was totally distracted about it. They was doing a lot of back and forth. Well, Dennis said this, with this and this. The conversation got absolutely nowhere. Porsha wound up storming off like she always does, and in the car she was like, she's not gonna get my energy. And Drew was being shady with nobody there at the table, drinking her tea alone, saying, well, this is why Simon divorcing you. And I'm like, no, she divorced Simon, ain't she? Oh, this is why Porsha leaving him. I mean, not Porsha, Shamea leaving him. I was like, what? No, Shamea is begging to be Porsha's friend. Anyway, Drew, girl, nothing gets resolved with this tea. I mean, Porsha literally took a couple sips of the tea, and it was just like a whole game to me, it was like a whole game of telephone. There was no resolution between Porsha and Drew in that scene. So then everybody's packing for Grenada. Production is very shady too, because they show Britt and her little dog Mimosa in her closet. Then you go to Shamia's grandiose closet. It looked like a department store. And then we have Shamia getting packed, and her Mama Morton brings her a Bible. Mama Morton gonna have the Lord with Shamia everywhere she goes. So then Angela's back at one of her properties again, and her daughter's there, and look like they did a lot of upgrading, a lot of tweaks, things on the property. And Angela's like, I just want this property sold. So then after that, we have a scene with Kelly and her kids that was really touching. Kelly's explaining to her kids that she is going to Grenada, and they was like, where is that? She sounded like me when my kids ask me a question. I'd be like, Google it. She's like, Google it. And she was like, I'm going to miss the first day of school, which her kids are the age where the first day of school is so important. It was like, oh my God, like, what about our school clothes and all this? And she was like, Uncle Lamont is going to take you to school. So then Kelly goes to the kitchen with Uncle Lamont / her publicist, and he lets her know he called Mark. And she looks like you could see there's some trauma there. She looked shocked, like, you called him? And I thought like she was gonna get upset with him for calling him, but he's saying like, I had a relationship with him, and I thought I could talk to him, to do right by the kids. And Kelly was like, what did he say? He was like, nope. He was real negative. He didn't want to do it. He was, he just didn't want to help with the kids. And I felt Kelly's pain when she was like, I don't get to turn off being a parent. And I've personally been through this before, and I feel Kelly on this. Like, I can't turn off being a parent. Why you can just just because we're going through this situation that has nothing to do with the kids, why it's okay for you to say, guess what, I don't want to be a parent today. I'm just going to be a nasty MFer, and I'm just going to treat the kids away because I feel a way towards you. I cannot stand when men do that. So that's what I felt when Kelly's like, I can't turn off being a parent. I felt her on that. And I don't understand this little ugly man that she married. Oh, he's ugly. God forgive me. But that man, if y'all ever Google Kelly's husband, he's unattractive. I was like, girl, you went through all over this over him. Who is he? What did he do for a living? How did he have this? Did he have a lot of coin? Did they make coin together? Like, what is the tea on that? Because that man is not attractive. But anyway, I feel bad for Kelly in that aspect. So then the next scene is everybody arrives at the airport. I want to say it was really nostalgic, a real nostalgic feeling to see when Phaedra and Cynthia saw each other for the first time. Like it gave old Atlanta housewives tease. It so I don't know, they didn't really say nothing, but hey girl, how you doing? But it was just like still giving like that old Atlanta feeling, just seeing Phaedra and Cynthia in the scene. And it wasn't really a major scene, it was just nostalgic about it, the nostalgic scene. And then everybody's on the plane, and guess who's late? 1, 2, 3, Drew. I'm like, so Drew done gave us Ralph in the Basement, 2 Tops, and Always Late, and working with Dennis this whole season. Drew, girl, it's giving. And I watched Jessie Woo's Members Only Live again, what she did with the King of Reeds, and she was saying like, Drew, this might be her last season, and it looks like it. It looks like it. Like she's always late. Do they call her late, or she just be late? Anyway, they land in Grenada. Grenada is beautiful. I love the Caribbean. I was like, wow, I had to put Grenada on my bucket list of things to do and places to visit because it's really beautiful. And they all get to the airport in Grenada, and Phaedra asks, hey, what's going on? Because Shamia's kind of down or whatever. Shamia's bag is still left in Atlanta. I will say this. Anytime I travel as of recently, because airlines be all messing up, I always do check bag. I try to squeeze, not check bag, I'm sorry, carry-on bag. I try to squeeze as much as I can in my carry-on for situations like this. But I'm sure she had like a ton of stuff. Like, seems like they stay in there for a while. So they all get in the car. First car, we have Portia, Kelly, Shamia, and Britt, which is the turned up car. And in the second car, ain't nobody talking. It's all boom. Like they literally play like music going boom. And it's Angela, Cynthia, Drew, and Phaedra, the boring car. Phaedra. And Phaedra just come out of nowhere. It was like, who got all the beef? And then Angela points to Drew. And in the confessionals, in the confessionals. Oh my God, I forgot something so funny that Phaedra said in the confessionals about Angela. When they was getting ready for the airport, Angela was like, "This is my first time meeting Phaedra. I'm not gonna go based on what I heard prior." And Phaedra's confessional, she's like, she said, Angela is the oldest looking young person I ever seen. I hollered when she said that, because I keep saying this. That lady is not 43. I'm 42. I know what a good 55, 50. And it's okay, Angela. Why you lying about your age, girl? You is not 43. Anyway, in the confessionals, Phaedra said she doesn't know a lot about Drew, except she was in a lot of black movies. I think she was on Soul Train. She dressed real odd though. She dressed real odd, and for some reason the production put at the bottom screen breaking news that Drew was in Step It Up. I forgot that movie, and Drew was in there. Only last movie I remember Drew in was that TLC movie when she played T-Boss, and that was the last good movie. I'm sorry, I don't remember Drew in that in Step It Up or in The Game. That's it. Anyway, moving on. The theme for the trip is reset, renew, and rebirth. That's what Kelly lets everybody know in the van. And Portia, I agree with Portia. Portia was like, haven't we been already trying to do that at every event? Renew, rebirth, get over it, move on. They bringing the stuff that happened, all the drama from Atlanta in Grenada, and talking about it again. So anyway, they get to the villa. It's a beautiful green entrance. Like, I mean, they had the people on stilts, the guys is with the dark glitter. Like, it was a nice grand opening. It's given, you know, the budget was budgeting. I loved it. The villa looks very nice. Then in typical Housewives fashion, we have to play a game for the rooms. I was like, Lord Jesus, when we gonna get another playbook? But I like this game. And Shamia said, you know, it's going to be shot o'clock. So everybody going to have to take a shot for this game. So they first start with who's pairing up with who in the room. So first, of course, the hosts are going to stay together. That's Kelly and Shamia. So they're staying in the main villa. Then the next up, we have Britt and Phaedra. Then we have Portia and Angela. And then Angela lets us know, I don't mind shacking up with Portia because Charles is at home. Girl, ain't nobody pressed about Charles Oakley like you think. I don't know. Maybe they were in Atlanta. Y'all Atlanta people let us know. But I don't nobody care about Charles like that. And Charles act like he don't care about you, Angela, again. So then we have Drew. And I'm like, they are treating Drew like a freaking stepchild. I don't know if Drew already knew. It's obvious. The writers are on the wall. I don't even work for this company, but it's clear when a company is trying to exit you or move you to the left. Because this is the second time they put that girl in Nashville that she was in a bunk bed. Now she has to arm wrestle with Cynthia over some twin beds. And in the confessional, Portia was like, y'all, this is a lie. Justice for Drew. And I was like, dang. Like, I started to feel bad for Drew. I don't even like Drew. And Drew gets on my nerves about her lie. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, seriously? Y'all gonna put this girl in some twin beds? Now, I will say, granted, when they got to showing all of the villas, all of the suites inside the villa, they're like mini apartments. There wasn't honestly a bad room or a bad bed. Even when they showed when Cynthia and Drew got to their suite, it was like little apartments with, I mean, yes, Cynthia had a balcony out there, but the twin beds, I mean, it wouldn't have bothered me. So, after that, Shamia and Kelly sit down, and Shamia was telling Kelly about how Drew tagged her from her interview from the radio station, and she's still mad about the lapdog comment. Then Drew and Cynthia sit on the balcony. Cynthia's telling her about her new man, which I've been hearing about, this guy that's in Amsterdam. He's younger, and she don't want to say his name, but now I think we all know who he is. And then Drew just updates Cynthia on everything that's been going on with the same drama that we've been hearing over and over and over and over and over, redundantly again. So everybody's getting ready for dinner. You know, the dinner scene is when we're going to have like our meats and potatoes of the show. So everybody's getting ready. Everybody comes to the dinner. It's beautiful. The setup is beautiful. Whoever organized this trip did a very good job. I mean, where they was eating Britt, you see they had food? That's how you do a classy event. You see how you sitting there chewing on that food? Girl, yeah, take notes. Put that down in your notebook of how to do an event. So Kelly kind of took the reins of this dinner. And I was like, okay, come on, Kelly, girl. I know her and Shamia were hosting it together, but she really takes the reins of like keeping the girls in line. Like, let's voice out our grievances. So they go first up. Kelly wants to do a reset. Remember, this is the chapter 1, the reset. And she says she wants everybody to air it out. So Shamia says, to Drew, you called me a lap dog. I didn't like it. And Drew keeps saying, oh, because I called you a lap dog because you took back information incorrectly. I'm like, Drew, you did say this album was gonna help PJ go to college. Like, you did say it. Then Drew said, something if a hit dog will holler. And I'm like, she's doubling down on it. Then Phaedra asks Drew, like, are you really calling this girl a dog? Like, come on now. Like, you're doing too much. And Drew just don't get it. And finally, we get Portia to step in and defend her friend and say, look, Drew, you call her a lap dog and she wants an apology. I mean, come on, period. Essentially, that's what it is. So finally, we get Shamia and Drew, kind of resolved. But Shamia lets us know, yeah, if y'all say something I don't like, or I feel like it's about my friend, or vice versa, I don't do fake friendships. I don't do Instagram posts. Come to me. If you have an issue with me, come to me. And so Phaedra asks all the ladies, like, do y'all really think that y'all gonna talk about Portia and Shamia's not gonna go tell her? Then Angela chimes in, was like, well, no, actually, Shamia, you came and voiced your grievances to us. And Shamia lets them know, no, y'all always asking me about me and Portia's friendship. I don't just volunteer. Like, I tell y'all what's going on, but y'all be always asking me. And then Portia was like, I find that odd that y'all asking her. Everybody's asking Shamia about what's going on with our friendship, and nobody's asking me. So after that, Kelly asked a $1 million question. Well, Portia, do you feel like you're a good friend to Shamia? Portia does not answer the question. She's like, well, she pivots back to the thing. Well, me and Shamia already discussed and we're good. In the confessional, Shamia's like, well, yeah, I'm so glad that Portia said that, because I'm over here windmilling for our friendship and family. Portia said something. Girl, Portia is not your friend. What about your friends? Portia's not one of them to you, Shamia. But if you're okay with what Portia said, then whatever. Then Kelly, again, holding the girls together. Who in charge of the girls? Kelly in charge of the girls, obviously. Come on, Kelly. Kelly says, honestly, Drew, you have an issue with everybody at this table except for Cynthia. And I was thinking, does she got an issue with Phaedra? Phaedra just got here. She just flew down from American Medicine a week ago. I'm like, what happened with her and Angela? They beefing now? And Drew was like, oh my God, how, why do I have an issue with everybody? So then Drew and Portia go to the back and forth about her filming with Dennis behind her back, and not letting her know. And then Drew brings up, well, you did that with Ralph, and what if somebody went back and said, oh, you sleeping with Ralph just because you filming him? It was just a lot of back and forth of the same old song, and it's exhausting. I'm like, y'all in Grenada. So eventually, Kelly and her crystal, I wish I would have had my crystal. Kelly and her crystal was like, only I can talk. The person that holding the crystal could talk. She's like, Drew, can you voice out your frustrations or how you feel, whatever? Portia lets her know. First of all, they was like, what kind of energy is in their crystal? I was like, what kind of crystal is that? Portia lets Drew know, I came in real hot when she called her, you're a low down dirty dog at Shamia's event. And she's, apologized for that. And Drew was like, well, thank you, because I never heard you say that before. And then after that, they both go back and forth. And Portia lets us know, Drew, that's what I was trying to tell you when we were having tea. When you were trying to say I dated Future, and they bleep Future's name out again. when that, you know, if you dating black, just say you dating black instead of going with this narrative. Everybody think that you messing with Dennis. That's essentially what I got from the whole back and forth between Portia and Drew. And so after that, they finally come to some resolution on the whole Dennis of it all. Drew and Portia lets Drew know, like, I'm cool on you, but we ain't gonna be friends no more because of how you move. That's how I picked up from the scene. How you moved with my baby daddy is, I see how you are. We good on this job, on this show, but other than that, we're not good in real life. And you know, I respect Portia for that, and I'm glad she told her, and I'm glad we can get over this Dennis of it all. Because watching Portia and Portia's YouTube channel, her and Dennis have a very great relationship, and she seems to be cool with like any person he dates. Drew just did it really weird and really awkward. And Drew, girl, your time is up on Housewives. It's very obviously like their production don't like you. And you, also, I didn't watch your Carlos King interview, but you going to all the people that get kicked out or booted or know that they not coming back, go on Carlos King. Yeah. And you ain't been on Watch What Happens Live? Yeah. So finally, yeah, everybody get through the Dennis of it all, the future, the black, this, the that. Portia lets Drew know where they stand. Drew hopefully don't call Shamia no lapdog. Shamia, hopefully you don't bark no more, girl. And then after that, Britt was like, can I have the crystal? I have something to say. And I was like, what does she gotta say? Now we're speaking of husbands and baby daddies and ex-baby daddies and ex-husbands. I want you to know, Phaedra, I did not invite Paulo to my event. I was like, girl, in the confessional, Shamia was like, Britt, read the room. Like, where did that come from? First of all, Britt, you sharing a room with Phaedra. You couldn't say that to her privately. Why did you have to say that right now? At your foodless event, girl, nobody want to care about Paulo being at your foodless event. And even Phaedra shaded you in the confessional, was like, girl, ain't nobody even thinking about that. Apollo married to a whole nother woman. Anyway, y'all, that was my recap. I really enjoyed the episode. It was really light, getting away from all this Diddy stuff. It was a really light episode. I want to see what happens next on the rest of the trip in Grenada. Grenada is beautiful, but I really enjoyed this episode. It was lighthearted, light shade, cute shade, and yeah, that's what I have for episode 13. Oh my god, I can't believe we're on episode 13. That means they're about to film a reunion soon. I think somebody said they're supposed to film it in the next couple of weeks because we're in June. So like, comment, and subscribe, y'all. Bye.